and we are back watching what I first reacted to, comedy, bro. Oh my, yo, I'm very excited to be watching a comedy special. I ain't gonna lie, I've been slacking on them, bro. When I like something, like for example, if you look at my channel, all you see is a bunch of BTS now. Don't get me wrong, I love BTS and I will continue to be watching and listening and reacting to BTS, but I have this problem where when I like something, I fixate and I dive deeply into. A lot of people in my audience are BTS, yes, that's very true. However, a good portion of my audience also came to me from my comedy reactions and from my podcast reactions, so I can't forget about them. I can't forget about them folks, you feel me? So here we are. I think it's because I was a little lazy, you feel me? I don't see why I couldn't just have reacted to both BTS and whatever comedy special I wanted to watch. I've been slacking a little bit. I've been distracted by real life problems, but now that those problems are solved, we're locked in. We are locked in.
Every day I'm really trying to get it. I take the L and elevate, I push it past the limit. Don't need no diamonds on my wrist, because I swear the vision big, just like the thick boy squad. Big boy squad, big boy nation, big boy squad, big boy
Thick boy squad?
running up the miles while they running out of patience. Just the big boy squad, big boy nation.
What's up, Dallas?
What is it? Whatever. What is a thick boy squad though? Like, before I start bumping my head.
Look at you guys. I'm not used to this. Dallas a little different. There's some ladies in the crowd tonight. I am not used to that. My demo, 18 to 36 bros. That's what I specialize in. It's a real cock fest usually at these things. I don't mind it though. I'm the bro whisperer. That's what they call me.
The broest bro.
Are we vaccinated up in here, Dallas? Everybody vaccinated?
What type of question?
Dicey. I love you, Texas. That's how it is. I love it. There's always one guy. No fucking way, bro. That needle's not touching this fucking temple, daddy. As he says, he's taking a nacho, dipping in nacho cheese. Oh, my bad, Mr. Whole Foods. My bad. Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. This whole vaccination stuff, I'm not anti-vaxxer, man. I'm vaccinated, but it's all in their
Mr. Whole
marketing.
Foods.
They fucked this whole thing up in their marketing. With that Operation Warp Speed, when they launched that, remember they're trying to get everybody to get vaccinated? And they're like, yeah, go to Krispy Kreme, buy a dozen donuts, get vaccinated. Like, the fuck? That makes sense. Fat people are like, hell yeah, fuck this. It's so confusing. I remember I called my mom. I was like, hey, mama, are you getting vaccinated? She's all, I wasn't. And then, you know, I love donuts. And fucking... Remember the first dumbass that messed it all up for everybody, scared the shit out of from getting vaccinated? Remember that idiot? He was all over the news stations. The first moron to get that Johnson & Johnson. Clearly a meth addict. Nobody checked into his background. Remember that? They put him on the news. He's sweaty as shit. He was on all the major broadcasts. He's like, holy shit, dude! Yeah, I got it done. I got that Johnson & Johnson, bro. I don't feel good, bro. I can't stop sweating, bro. I feel like I'm going wings. I'm gonna lay low for a little bit on the vaccination. I'm just gonna... Remember that moron? It's all in marketing, man. Like, they need to hire some just a dime piece actor we've never heard of. Just blast them all over the news, right? Just somebody who's fun. Get them on there and just put them all over the news, all over the nation. Like, yeah, dude, I got the Johnson & Johnson. I feel pretty good. I feel great, actually. If I'm being honest, one side effect, I just want to be up front with everybody. Goddamn dick's down to here. Just... You'd have a line of bros at CVS just like Just trying to do my part, man. Just It's good to be in Dallas, man. You guys do it right. It's good to be in Dallas. I know. Yeah.
Hell
There's a
yeah.
reason I said I shoot my special here, man. You guys just give me so much love. I absolutely love Texas, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I haven't touched a mask since I touched down. It is fantastic. LA is not like this, y'all. LA is North Korea with a beach. It is fucking... But they give us Wi-Fi, so that's cool. They're talking about locking us back down. I can't go through another lockdown. Straight up, the Shaub household barely made it through the last one. We eked our way out of that last one. We did not do well with it. Also, Dallas, my lockdown's different. I got a 5-year-old and 2-year-old. Parents know what I'm talking about. I would rather do anything else than be locked down with those fucking demons 24/7.
Understandable.
We're not even locked down. My girl was fighting with me the other week. We get locked down, we're fucked. She was fighting with me. Fucking, Fauci, Delta, mask, what are we gonna do? I was thinking to myself, oh my God, my life would be so much easier if I was just gay as shit. If I was locked down with the bros, Dallas, quarantine with the homies, you know how much more fun we would have? Oh my God, dude. We'd like play video games all day. We'd work out. At night, we'd fuck each other.
I was just like,
the fuck? No. I thought we were gonna play video games, bro. Sorry, man. I love that. No, fuck no, I'm not into that, dude. I'm not. I don't want to be locked down with you anymore. Just... What are you gonna do, bro? You're bored.
yeah, let me just fucking do.
One can dream, Dallas. One can dream.
I
never thought I'd say this to a live audience. One thing that I'm grateful for the governor of California, Governor Newsom, for locking us down for an entire year and ruining small businesses. Because I wouldn't have realized this unless I was locked down with my family for an entire year. I realized my girl's not cool. She's just not... She's not a friendly human being. I married a goddamn rattlesnake. She's like, this is my girl. This is my girl, man. This is what I'm dealing with. Yo, listen, LA's different than Texas. They just opened up my son's school last week. He hasn't been in school in a fucking year. They just opened it last week, first day of kindergarten. So I got him his first day outfit, looking all fucking fly, dope kicks, giant backpack, backwards hat, looks just like me. I'm walking up for school. I'm like, dude, it's about to be lit as fuck. All his little friends out front in their first day outfits. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are cute as shit. I need to document this. I go, T, get tight. There's a bunch of you squeezing tight. Daddy's gonna take a picture. Ready? Cheese on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. They're all cheese. I take out my phone. I'm all, hell yeah. I snap a pic. I text it to my girl.
Yo,
she gets it.
why
She looks at it. She goes,
lick his lips like.
crop out the uglies. Resend. What? Excuse me? I said, you're in a group chat with other parents, dumbass. Savage, y'all. Savage.
That is kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I married a Mexican, y'all. I married a Mexican.
Crop out the uglies. Resend.
I thought you would like that. Listen. Listen. I thought you guys would enjoy that. Listen, Dallas. I don't mean like Taco Bell Mexican. No. I'm talking Guadalajara. Born and raised. Came to the States 10 years ago. Illegally Mexican.
Why he just
The
snitched?
real deal, Holyfield. Y'all, this shit is...
Oh, wait. Like, they married, so she probably... You feel
Yeah, a
me?
lot of white girls, big titties and flat asses before her, and it just never worked out for me. It just would never work out. And I'll never forget this. One of my boys goes, dude, Papi, what are you doing, bro? Get with a Latina, bro. You know why? Because they're fun and they're spicy. No doubt, definitely spicy. Girl spicy, right? Girl spicy. You know what spicy means? They're assholes. That's what that means.
Yeah, I mean...
Sorry, man. Dude, when we first got together, she was cooking authentic Mexican food 7 nights a week. I'm not used to this. I was like, what? Fajitas every Wednesday? Fuck yeah. No, dumbass. Not fajitas every Wednesday. Real Mexican dishes, y'all. Real shit from the motherland. I'm talking huevos rancheros. Carne asada. Pico de gallo. And my favorite, chili.
Yo, he's literally
Every
tonguing the
night,
mic, bro.
Every night, 7 years later,
What?
every fucking night. I know I look Latin. This girl know who I am. She's like, honey, what the fuck is happening right now? Is he not a Puerto Rican shortstop for the Dodgers? What the fuck's happening? Dude, I did that 23andMe. I did that shit. You spin the cup, you mail your DNA in. I did that. They sent me drive mayonnaise back. I am white as shit, Dallas. Yeah. White person handout, page 7, bitch. I need a fucking tater tot once a week. Would a fucking Hot Pocket kill you every now and then? Every time dinner would come, I'm like, oh, does she really think beans go with every goddamn meal? Is she serious? She for real? Every time dinner would come, like, does it ever occur to her? Maybe Brendan's not trying to shit his pants tonight. How about that? Fuck. Every time dinner would come, my asshole would go like this. Fuck, bro. Fuck, bro. Fuck. We're dying down here, Poppy. It's so spicy, bro. I've never been thicker since I got with a Mexican, man. Thick with 3 fucking C's. Dude, everything they eat, bean, cheese, bean, cheese, bean, cheese, bean, cheese. I'm like, what the hell, man? We're just gonna carb load year round? We never tailor off the carbs? That's the game plan? We're just all gonna be built like armadillos?
Armadillos is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, every time I think of clicking off, he kind of comes in with like a somewhat funny joke.
I decided to go on a keto diet.
Bro, okay, I don't know if I'm bugging or maybe I'm just I'm having an off day. But is he not funny, bro? Like, maybe I'm tripping. I don't think I could post this, bro. Like, so far, it seemed like the energy of his jokes are whiny in nature. And I've listened to comedians that are like, they sound whiny sometimes, but they are like the jokes that they're telling are funny though. He's not really like, I don't know, maybe I'm bugging. Yeah, I'm gonna post this. Yeah, let me know if I'm bugging. I ain't really trying to hate on folks, you feel me? Because I feel like he kind of is funny, but something about like, it's not hitting for me for some reason.
I got so thick in the pandemic, I decided to go on a keto diet. If you know what keto is a diet where you can't eat Mexican food. That's the diet. It's pretty easy to stick to, man. Just don't touch a fucking tortilla. You know what I'm saying? Here's my problem, though. She has her own house, but does that mine. It makes no sense. So before I started this keto diet, I went up to my girl. I go, hey, you know I love your mom. Her food, best in the world. It's my favorite. That's why I'm so fucking fat. Listen, do me a favor, though. I don't want to be tempted. I don't want in the house. Do me a favor. Tell your mom I'm on keto. Can you do that? She goes, why don't you tell her? She speaks English. I went, but she doesn't, though. But she doesn't. You keep saying that, and she clearly fucking doesn't. Do me a solid, tell her I'm on fucking keto, okay? 8 weeks goes by, your boy hasn't touched a fucking tortilla. Nothing. I walked in the house last Friday. Sure enough, there's a fucking fiesta of my favorite food. You know how like Theo Von can't bring down cocaine?
Okay.
You know how like he struggles with cocaine? Like if there was cocaine on the table right now, he'd fucking snort it from right field. You feel me? God bless him. I love that fucking dude. That's how I am with fucking pozole. I see it, dude. I will fucking take it to the snout. I can't be around it. I see it, I eat it. So I walked in, I go, Mama, you know I love, Mama, what are you doing? I know you know, I'm on keto. I know you know, somebody told you I'm on keto. She goes, mijo, bueno, ándale, mijo. Cabron, look, cabron. She grabs this tray, she goes, cabron, look, taquitos. It's keto, bitch!
Taquitos is crazy. Taquitos is kind of crazy.
I'm just gonna stay thick, y'all. It's my DNA. Oh, the other thing you should know about dating a Mexican, nobody told me this. There's gonna be flaming hot Cheetos all over your house.
Really?
They love them. They love them. It's like catnip for Mexicans. They love them.
I wouldn't know. I haven't dated. Maybe
I'm the only person in my house who don't speak Spanish.
I need to date a
I feel
Mexican.
like a refugee in my own goddamn house. My white friends never dated a Latino before. I go, dude, just fucking learn Spanish. Put a little effort in. Learn Spanish. How hard can it be? I'm all, bitch, I am 38. I struggle with English at times. You know what it feels like to my 5-year-old son roll up on his bike and talk shit to me in Spanish? You know what that feels like? As a father, you know what that feels like?
Damn. You
I
better.
don't have a clue what he's talking about. I have a clue. I thought puto meant dude for the longest time.
Oh.
I dropped him off at school last week. I was all, later, puto! Teacher was like, what the fuck? I'm all, puto, puto. Puto?
Don't puto me like put.
One of the many things I love about the Mexican culture is, and I do love your culture, man. One of the many things I love about it is you guys always have something to celebrate. Every week you have something to celebrate. As a white person, my dad's like, only your birthday, motherfucker. I'm like, all right, once a year, be cool, Dad, be cool. Not Mexicans, every week something's popping. Last week, some girl turned 15.
Oh, quinceañera.
Not even related to us. Threw the party at my house.
What?
Apparently, the Mexican culture, turn 15's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
White people, we don't give a fuck.
Americans.
These Mexicans gave all the fuck, yeah. I walk in the house, these Mexicans give a fuck about social distancing. There was a mask in sight. I walk in the house, there's a mariachi band. They're beating the shit out of this piñata. There's flaming hot Cheetos spraying over the goddamn living room. I walk in, I look at my girl, Jesus Christ, quite the party. What are we celebrating? What, she into Harvard early? What's going on here? She goes, nope, just turned 15. I went, fuck yeah, that makes sense. The other thing I love about the Mexican culture is you guys stick together. You guys are so loyal to each other. You fucking have each other's back, and I love that. White people, we're not like that, are we? As soon as we turn 16, we're all fucking see you, Peter and Debbie, and fucking...
Who the hell's Peter and Debbie?
My real parent names.
Oh, I was about to say.
I told you I'm white as shit, man.
Peter and Debbie?
Yeah, Mexicans stick together. Like, you never walk into a bar and see one Mexican hammered by themselves. No way. They're there with their amigos. I was taking my family out for dinner the other night. My family, I mean all 15 of them.
Bro.
And we walk outside and they all gather around my car. I drive a 2-door coupe. It makes no fucking sense. And my mother-in-law's at the trunk. I'm all, Mama, we just talked about this inside the house. Remember, you have your own car. I will text you the address. We will meet at the restaurant. She goes, no, mijo. We fit. The fuck? No, you don't fit. She goes, bueno, we fit. I went, please don't do this. I promise you, you do not fucking fit. Sure enough, we fit, y'all. We fucking fit, man. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
Why did
Two of them are hanging off the spoiler. Didn't give a fuck. Forget how I'm going to wrap up this Mexican bait going hard on my family.
That was funny.
Oh, I know. Me
ain't
and my girl, we're not doing well.
Or maybe
That's
I
it.
just
We're
found
not
that
doing
funny.
well. So she wanted to go to couples therapy. I'm like, all right, good luck finding one during the middle of the pandemic. She found one, man. She fucking found one, yeah.
What?
2-star review, but we're going. So
Jeez. Jeez.
we're driving to couples therapy. She's crying just because she ran out of Flaming Hot Cheetos. I'm crying just because my life currently. And we pull up to this brick building, this small brick building. I've never seen some shit like this. Small little brick building. We pull up to, and this therapist has her name plastered on the side of the goddamn building. Giant red neon letters, just fucking zzz. It says Dr. Rodriguez. I get out, I'm like, well, it's an away game for your boy, isn't it? We did not go in there, Dallas. We did not. We're looking for a Dr. Robinson, maybe Dr. Allen at this point. You feel me? It's even weirder in the middle of a pandemic. So we move into the house. My girl goes, Papi, I've seen the neighbors. They're pretty old. Let's play it safe. They're probably COVID conscious. Why don't you just go over and introduce yourself, right? I'll bake some Mexican cookies, and you go over there. I'm like, what the fuck's a Mexican cookie? What are you talking about?
Mexican
It's
cookies.
like a chocolate chip with salsa all over it? What are you talking about? What are you...
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a terrible idea. I'll take it. I'll figure it out. So first night in the new house, everything's all good, man. Everything's all good. Kids fall asleep, girl falls asleep, I fall asleep, all good. 3 a.m. on the dot, I'm woken up to, rah! I'm like, what the fuck is howling outside? Whatever. Next day, I install the security stuff, cameras, the Ring stuff, all that stuff, the doorbell, all the Ring security stuff, all good. Fall asleep that night. Kids asleep, girls asleep, I fall asleep. 3 a.m. on the goddamn dot. I'm woken up again. Rah! I'm like, there's a goddamn gargoyle outside my window, dude. What I know about this Ring app, you download the app, there's an entire community of people just snitching on each other.
Yeah, that is
It's
facts.
like Tekashi 6ix9ine made this app. It's
Literally facts.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Listen, dude. I scroll that app for hours looking for real crime. I'm like, come on, dude. Somebody fucking kill somebody, for God's sakes. You know how much First 48 I watch? I'm like, we got 48 hours, bro. Let's get going here, man. What I didn't know is you can narrow it down to your hood. You can narrow it down right to your neighborhood. It's dope. You can narrow it right down. So I'm like, ooh, let's see what's popping in this new neighborhood of mine. 2 doors down, Jerry goes, hey, man, this mountain lion ate my goddamn dogs. Somebody needs to do something. Jesus Christ. I'm like, that is not good. Diane, right next door to me, goes, yeah, I used to be the fucking cat lady. Not anymore. That mountain lion ripped my goddamn cat's head off and ate all of them. My kids saw it from the window. We can't sleep at night.
Damn.
Somebody needs to do something. Like, this is not good. Then David, right next door to me, David goes, yeah, the same mountain lion stole my Amazon package. I'm all, all right, dude. But that gives me the idea. I'm like, ooh, I know how I'm going to introduce myself to the new neighbors. I'm going to take care of this little kitty problem for them. That's what I'm going to do. This is going to be easy work. But I need to buy a gun. I need to go buy a gun. Listen, Dallas, I've never owned a gun, never shot a gun, played Call of Duty twice. I'll figure it out. So I go into my local LA gun store. Again, I've never bought a gun. I got so hustled in there. I got so bamboozled, dude. Listen, I've never shot a gun. I walked out with an AR-15, like the red laser thing on top of it. I walked out with the Zero Dark 30 Navy SEAL night vision helmet. What? I was like, dude, 19 grand for all this? Hell yeah, bro. Fuck yeah, it's a steal, bro.
19
No, I'll wear it
pans is
out.
crazy.
No, I can see everything, dude. That cat's fucked, bro. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. And I'll let you know, man. Yeah, thank you. Dude, killer deal. So I get home. Listen, I've never owned a gun. I'm hyped up. I'm loading the gun. I got my fucking night vision on. I'm like, this shit is fucking dope, dude. In my head, I'm like, right, this is how I'm envisioning this, right? That cat shows up at 3 a.m. every night, right? So I'll be sleeping. It's 3 a.m. It's late. I'll be sleeping, right? I'm gonna hear, wow. I'm gonna fucking pop out of bed, right? I'm gonna fucking, yeah. And then I always have my Uggs bedside, right? My Uggs will be right there.
Uggs is crazy. Uggs is crazy.
Cool. Tom Brady wears Uggs, so I'll fucking.
Tom Brady wears
I'll
Uggs?
slide my Uggs on, right? I'll have my Air.
Ain't no way
like
Tom
this.
Brady wears
I'll have my Zero
Uggs.
Dark 30 night vision like this. My big dick's
This nigga wears Uggs.
be cool. Tom Brady wears Uggs, so I'll fucking.
Indeed he does.
I'll slide my Uggs on, right? I'll have my Air 15 like this. I'll have my Zero Dark 30 night vision like this. My big dick's right there still, so I'm like. I don't know why I threw that in, but be cool. So I'm fucking. She's so offended, so I'm here, right? So I'm hearing that catch. I'm like, ram, like enough's enough, dude. I'm gonna slide that sliding door open, like, yeah. And every video I've ever seen, like online, those mountain lions have like those soft, wet black noses. I'm gonna punt them right in that goddamn nose, fucking, and then go, World Star.
World Star is crazy.
Your boy's gonna go viral. It's gonna be lit as fuck. I can't wait, man.
Saying
next
World
night,
Star
right?
is still is
Pacing back and
crazy
forth.
in
My girl's like,
2023,
go to
bro.
bed. I'm all, shut up, bitch. I'm fucking here. Again, I got my UGG boots on. I got my Air 15. I got my 0 Dark 30 night vision on, right? Still got the big dick. Sorry. I'm fucking here. I gotta stick with it, right? So I'm here. I'm looking at the clock. It's all 2:58. I'm all, pray to God this cat shows up, bro. It's 2:50 now. I'm like, last day on earth for you, kitty. 3 a.m. hits. I hear, wow. I'm all, showtime. I slide that glass door open. I'm all, yeah. Here's the thing, Dallas. I've never seen a mountain lion in person before. In my head, I was thinking like a small type of bobcat type of thing, right? Like, the gun's a little extreme. Probably don't need the Navy SEAL night vision, dude. Like, you can probably grab it by the scruff of the neck and be like, enough's enough, kitty. Wow, wow. Well, no, dumbass. It's a line of the mountains, dude. It's fucking... This thing was Mufasa. Fucking, It's like this mountain lion ate Joe Rogan's trash. This thing was fucking... Oh, I panicked. Dude, I panicked. I went, oh, shit! And I slammed the door. Dude, I threw my AR-15 like this. I fucking threw my night vision. I'm not even left-handed. I was like, oh, my God. Still got my UGG boots. Still got the big dick. Not a big deal. Sorry. I got on that Ring app the next morning. I went, yo, we got a mountain lion problem, y'all.
Dallas, that's my time. I love you guys.
Still need a girl with the thickness. Throw me the gloves, I'ma beat that shit up for that girl. Some fighter and kid shit. I'm getting games and I'm putting up numbers. I swear I'm a mathematician.
I don't know if I'm having an off day or something. I don't know if I can even post this, bro. I'm never comfortable with like not liking something that I watch because I don't want to like seem like I'm perpetuating hate or something. Been in the worst comedy special. Yo, did folks not like this? Hold on. Oh, without a doubt, this is one of the comedy specials I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that threw me off a little bit. Don't get me wrong, comedians insult everything, but the entire set just insulting. Like the pacing felt weird, the delivery felt off. I don't know. If this is his first time doing this, then this is pretty good. Like, no cap. If this is his first time performing, like, then that's excellent. That's an excellent first time performance. But if it's not, I don't know, cuz I didn't know. I'm thinking of if I went to it in person. If I went to that event in person, would I have left happy? It felt like some of those laughters, like they sound like, I don't know, like generated or something, bro. I made a bad choice. That's on me. That is on me. I don't know what this was, cuz. Whoa, hold on. Patrick CC said he's the most hated comedian in the industry.
All of the content in this video is protected by the Copyright Act of 1976.
Okay.
This is the most hated comedian in the industry.
Wow.
Not Joe Rogan, his buddy.
What he do?
Brendan Schaub. Brendan is a 39-year-old ex-football player, ex-UFC fighter turned podcaster and stand-up comedian.
What the hell?
Combination of multiple concussions and speaking on podcasts for a living leads to a lot of misspeaking, terrible opinions, bad jokes, harassment, but also fame and fortune. Brendan worked his whole life to be an athlete, be a fighter, but there's no doubt he got a shortcut to being a comedian. Turns out this shortcut has made for some very interesting controversy, shocking accusations, and deep internet lore that thousands of people actively contribute to daily. Today we are going to deep dive into the controversial rise of Brendan Schaub.
Okay.
Brendan has a history of false copywriting YouTube videos criticizing him. Brendan, if you're watching this, don't illegally take down my video. Just drink some water. There's an old saying, it's not about what
Okay.
you know, it's about who you know.
That's
It
a
turns
fact.
out Brendan Schaub knows someone very popular,
Joe Rogan?
For the very few unaware, Rogan is the voice of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He has been the lead commentary panelist at the UFC since 2000.
Yo, is that young Joe Rogan, bro?
The Ultimate Fighting Championship. He has been the lead commentary panelist at the UFC.
Oh yeah, he was bagging him. You did? Oh yeah, bro.
Since 2002.
This nigga
Brendan
was-
Schaub signed with the UFC in 2009 after an impressive 4-0 semi-pro record and heavyweight championship victory in the Ring of Fire MMA League. Before he was a fighter, he was a
Okay.
fullback for the University of Colorado. He
Fire.
went undrafted in the 2006 NFL Draft, then signed to 2 different Arena Football League teams, but never played a single game. I guess he
Damn.
was a better fighter than a ball player. In his UFC debut, he got his lights shut off by 260-pound heavyweight Roy Nelson. After that, Brendan would go on to have an okay UFC career. After 4 straight victories via TKO, Brendan Big Brown Schaub was looking like the future heavyweight star the UFC needed. In 2011, he beat his idol, Mirko Cro Cop. However, he got beat up so badly in this fight despite winning that he knew the UFC wasn't his passion anymore, which led to his demise in the ring. Schaub lost 4 out of his next 6 fights. His last loss was so bad that Joe Rogan actually convinced him to quit.
There's a bridge between you and the very best guys in the world. And I don't know if you can cross that bridge.
May of 2014,
Damn.
Rogan was already a 5-year veteran in the podcast world. His show is quite literally still the same now as it was then. He started a new segment called Fight Companion, where he would get a few of his buddies and watch the UFC fights while recording their reactions and conversations. The UFC only hires Joe to commentate on high-profile matches, but he loves watching fights because he's a fan before an employee. Shaub was the perfect guest for this series because he was a fighter. He knows a lot about the sport, he knows the mentality of a fighter before the event, during the event, and after. He knows how it feels to knock someone out, to be on top of the world, to be knocked out, and be humiliated. On top of that, he
Jesus.
knew some of the fighters personally and could provide even more insight. Brendan became a regular. The JRE community became fans of Brendan's company. They were excited for his upcoming fights, even though they knew he was past his prime. But after his loss against Travis Brown in December 2014, Joe had to speak up.
The reality of your skill set and where you at now, I don't see you beating the elite guys. There's a fluidity to their movement that you don't really have. There's shit that other people can do that you can't do. If you had a wrestling match with Cain,
Yo, I love the honesty, bro. This gives me happiness and hope that, like, because Joe Rogan he's a massively successful human being. This gives me like a great feeling. That means I can just be honest, keep it real, despite the amount of success I accrue. I like that.
that you don't really have. There's shit that other people can do that you can't do. If you had a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how well do you think you'd do?
I think people would be surprised.
Really? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be surprised. I really do. I think he'd f you up. The issue is, can you become a champion? If you can't become a champion, are you comfortable with getting knocked out 3 or 4 more times over the next 5 or 6 years?
Brendan didn't agree with Joe at the moment. He wasn't ready to accept the fact that he was not a high-level fighter. But Joe and his good friend Brian Callen were trying to convince him that he had other career options.
Whether or not you agree with that, what I care about is the fact that you have a future in other things and you're really good at. Like, you're really funny.
He say funny shit,
Dude, he says, he comes up with every one of the fucking memes, you know, it's ridiculous.
You say funny shit, man.
Yeah, you do. You have a ridiculous talent for that.
When you have 2 professional comedians telling you that you are funny, that maybe you should pursue a career in stand-up, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Brendan already had
Yeah.
a successful sports/comedy show alongside Brian Callen that was hosted and produced by Fox, The Fighter and the Kid. With hundreds of thousands of people he was reaching online, it was clear that Brendan had a brighter future outside of the ring. All professional fighters have to face the ego-shattering decision to put down the gloves one day. You have to live with people calling you scared, a quitter, a pussy, even though they themselves would never step into the ring with
That
another
is
person.
true.
Luckily for Brendan, he turned it into a financial decision. Reebok signed an exclusive uniform deal with the UFC where fighters couldn't wear any other brand during the fight. Not a sponsored brand, not their favorite brand, not even their own brand. Some fighters would get as low as $2,500 per fight to wear Reebok gear. Higher profile fighters would get around $10,000 per fight to wear Reebok. I've made 6 figures in sponsorship in each of my last 6 fights. The 90% pay cut Brendan would have to take, on top of the inevitable knockouts and concussions he would receive by continuing a fighting career, just didn't make sense. It took about 10 months to make it official, but in the 706th episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, he finally took Joe's advice and officially retired from MMA.
I got to step away from the game, man. I got to step away from the UFC for right now.
Damn.
He pursued a stand-up career, opening and doing small sets for his co-star Bryan Callen. In 2016, he debuted his first solo performance at the Comedy Store in LA. The fighter and the kid had a falling out with Fox Sports for their show. The network wanted 50% of all the revenue earned on the show. They wanted to remove Bryan Callen and make creative changes, including the notion that they should stop cursing. Obviously, that wasn't going to work, so they decided to go independent.
His ear is like swollen, bro.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that Brendan funded the new studio, purchased all the cameras and equipment since podcasting was about to be his new career, whereas Bryan had a stand-up comedy and acting career in full effect. With all this new free time and equipment, Brendan launched his own solo podcast called The Big Brown Breakdown, where he would mostly talk about MMA-related news with a guest. He was constantly on the Joe Rogan podcast, which was exploding to new heights. He was getting comedy spots next to 10, 15, 20-year veterans in the industry. He got a spot on Showtime, commentating and analyzing the massive Floyd Mayweather vs. Conor McGregor fight. By mid-2017, he was doing solo stand-up tours. He already had a fan base from his podcast and affiliation with other comics. So he was doing shows with big crowds of people before ever proving himself as a funny comedian. His fame was reaching all-time highs. Brendan Schaub was the meathead best friend. That's kind of dumb. Definitely has CTE.
Hey, photographers, you blockbuster. They were talking about fraternity?
Fraternal.
But seems like a good guy. He didn't really add much to the conversation.
Got a dicey past in terms of the law.
Some would say the diciest.
A rough reason for why.
The roughest. Oh. Who knows?
It's fun.
It's the funnest.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's the best.
You feel like this is a dirty business. Like, I don't want to be a part of
dirtiest.
this
The
business.
dirtiest business.
But he was officially living his lifelong dream of becoming a comedian.
My dream was to be a comedian. My heroes were Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler growing up.
Which a lot of people say is just him trying to convince himself that he belongs in this space. However, when the rise to fame comes so quickly, there are bound to be some negatives. He was making some enemies online. In October of 2017, someone posted this on the Joe Rogan subreddit, a compilation of insufferable Brendan clips titled, "This is why nobody likes Brendan Schaub." The comment section formed a small community of people sharing their disdain for him. He started another podcast called The King and the Sting with Theo Von, who is charming, likable, and a hilarious comedian. By the end of 2018, he owned and produced three very...
look at that Theo Von's face. Just makes me laugh, bro.
Likable, and a hilarious comedian. By the end of 2018, he owned and produced three very successful podcasts, was selling merch like crazy, friends with some of the biggest names in comedy after just 2 years.
Wow.
He released his first stand-up special on Showtime called You'd Be Surprised, and a lot of people were surprised at how unfunny he was.
It's out the biggest syringe you've ever seen in your life, like it's out of a goddamn comic book. Goes, Mr. Shaub, after you numb your lip, you need many, many stitches. This be worst pain in your life, guaranteed. Worst pain in your life. Clearly Jamal's a black dude. Gives a mean-ass haircut. This isn't gonna go well. I don't discriminate. This is gonna be sick. Let's do it, Jamal. This dude comes out of the bathroom, he's all, "What's up, man? I'm Jamal." He was Asian as shit.
His buddy Rogan even thought it was bad.
The first one, I would have probably tried to talk you out of it, but I already talked you out of fighting.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't talk him out of this, too.
Rogan admitting years later that he should have talked Brendan out of doing this special, but didn't, kind of tells you all you need to know. I'm not the comedy police. I'm not going to tell you what's funny and what isn't. So through the clips in this video or on your own time, you can decide whether he's funny or not. However, filming a special is a big moment for a comedian's career. Most comedians are hustling clubs and working on material for a decade before ever releasing something permanent. Every artist makes a bad song.
What?
Every painter has a bad piece. Every comedian has a bad joke. It takes years and years to perfect a craft. Not even perfect, but just make something really solid. By comparison, Tom Segura started doing comedy around 2001 after graduating college. He did his first televised set in 2007 on Comedy Central and didn't film a special until 2010, 9 years after starting. Bill Burr started comedy in 1992, recorded his first special in 2003, 11 years later. Kevin Hart started comedy in college around 2000. 2000, didn't film his first special until 2009, 9 years after starting. Brendan filmed his special just 2 years after starting comedy. He could have just done his tours and made those fans happy who were purchasing tickets to see him live. But once you put out a special, you are going to be subject to criticism, and he was not ready for that.
His
He
MMA
bribed his
career
fans for
was
reviews
funnier.
of his
It's
special.
crazy.
Today through the end of the week, if you follow the link below and leave the kind of review Brendan deserves for You'd Be Surprised, you will receive a one-time coupon for 50% off your entire Pure Spectrum order. They left reviews all right. 1.5 out of 10 stars was the average rating of his special.
Pure
Now he had to
Spectrum?
discount his CBD oil to a bunch of people that hated his work. You could argue, okay, it's just a bunch of people hating on him, trolling, and being overly harsh because he's popular. I mean, that's definitely what Brendan thinks.
If it's a hater, if it's, you know, a YouTuber talking shit, you can do that. You can criticize my comedy. A lion doesn't care what the sheep say. These people are just sheeps. You know, it's just this sheep mentality. It's this loser mentality.
Other than a few rude comments, this was the first backlash Brendan really got. His comedian friends gassed him up, told him he was hilarious, and that stand-up was his future. But the fans saw him differently. It got even worse. The Fighter and the Kids subreddit was once a place for people to come and discuss all things comedy and sports. It became the community center to troll Shaub. All the popular posts were videos of him slurring his words, interrupting people, lying, telling bad jokes. It got so deep with inside jokes that they had to get organized. They created an extensive and extremely impressive archive of the history of how the forum was created.
What?
They defined his idiotic ideals as Shaubisms, which is something that Brendan Schaub says often that doesn't make any sense, yet he continues to say it.
If this is a big fight stew, company stew, I should say this big vat of stew. I want that soup. I want that big ass stew. The ships are too sailing in the night.
He interrupted people, told obvious lies, couldn't speak properly, and made a bunch of bad jokes and often had terrible takes.
You realize like that's not sustainable.
I don't know if
but
that
a
ever
sweet
goes
potato,
away.
you know, you're like learning how to.
I don't know if it ever goes away. I always have it. It's just controlling the monster. For me, especially coming to comedy, not everyone was nice to me, man.
And then what is the thing that surprised you the most about doing stand-up that you didn't expect?
I would say how nice everybody is. When I trained with, ask me how I'm doing.
How are you doing, man?
I'm chill like a turkey after Thanksgiving. We get it, UFC Tonight Fox. You're not racist. We get.
Okay, what's up with the ear, bro? What is up with the ear? I'm sorry. Is it like a condition? Like, what? I'm not trying to, you feel me? I'm just curious because it, and every single clip, it's literally there, bro. Also, I'm chill like a turkey after Thanksgiving. If you were my friend and you said that to me, I'd probably punch you in the chest. Like, I would probably... Shut up, bro. Why'd you say that? That was horrible, bro. What does that even
turkey
mean?
after Thanksgiving. We get it, UFC Tonight Fox. You're not racist. We get it. You have an all-black panel. We get it.
The community called themselves homeless cats because Brendan views internet trolls as being worthless, like homeless people or cats.
The people that are negative or are on
the internet is
are
so
on
funny,
forums
bro.
and are create troll accounts. I view those people the same I'd view a homeless guy critiquing my art or critiquing my set or critiquing a podcast. They do not matter.
They even type their comments in Shaubinese.
What? Here's a clip for the Bro, this isn't real. He just said homeless people don't matter? What?
A podcast. They do not matter.
They even type their comments in Shaubinese, which is the variation of the English language spoken by Brendan Schaub. Brendan claimed he didn't care about the people who hated on him, that they were just miserable people who were jealous of his success.
You guys know me. I don't really engage with haters.
And while some of that may be true, it's very obvious he did care.
I know I look like this stuff doesn't bother me. It hurts my feelings, man. It always has.
Some people agree with Shaub that the Reddit users are just people obsessed with bullying him. Some people say Brendan is a bully himself.
I threatened to beat up a guy at a coffee shop.
And he can't handle when someone does it back to him.
No, that's DeSantis 2024.
You eating a donut or you eating cheese?
Well, whatever it is, you sound exactly the same as you do when you don't have that in your mouth.
Come on, Chris. Chris.
Sorry.
Chris, man, he's sensitive about this.
But no, it's okay, but we gotta rib each other.
Others really don't care about Shaub specifically. They just like the community aspect, memes and harmless trolling that comes with the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. It got better for a little bit. The King and the Sting podcast became a saving grace for Brendan. Him and Theo were a good pair, mostly because they would just make fun of each other and lean into their own stupidity.
You look like fucking Wyatt Slurp, bro. You look like a cop at a freaking bathhouse, dude.
You look like a DJ at a rave, fucking dip slow.
Plus, Theo is so charming, fans could listen to him talk to anyone, including just a random plumber.
Just happy to talk to a plumber, man, because I don't know anything really about plumbing.
Oh, ask away.
But then came the downfall of the Fighter and the Kid podcast. It actually started with their good friend and fellow comedian Chris D'Elia. D'Elia had multiple public accusations of sexual assault and grooming underage girls in June of 2020, which consisted of him texting, flirting, trying to meet up with, and potentially be intimate with women who were under the age of 18. He claimed that everything he did was legal and consensual.
Everything I've done has been legal and consensual, and that's true.
But social media, his comedy peers, and business partners did not agree with his actions morally, even if he wasn't technically being tried for a crime. They publicly denounced him and cut all ties with him. This was Brian and Brendan's reaction.
I have never seen or heard of him doing anything illegal. I don't know what to think, and I don't know what to say.
I'm as shocked as anyone. I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm fucking mad, man. I'm mad at him.
Okay.
After this, they moved on and continued just like nothing ever happened. But D'Elia fans were angry at the two. Bring Chris back with an epic podcast. You owe him that for the many times he's helped you guys. Those three were known for having, well, more so Brian and Chris. Half of their most popular episodes featured Chris. So D'Elia fans felt that he was innocent and was a victim of cancel culture, and that these two should be his saving grace if they were his real friends. But it got worse. Brian Callen, just 1 month later, was accused of R-wording a former Mad TV cast member. Once the victim came out, 3 other women shared their allegations against Callen, which included him groping, having affairs with, and soliciting sex for stage time.
This is me saying that I categorically and absolutely deny all the allegations against me.
Brendan didn't stop the podcast, not even for 1 week. He just kept bringing guest after guest. Every week, you didn't know who was going to be on. He dropped Brian and never talked about it, just said he was on vacation. Granted, if the allegations were true, nobody would blame Brendan. The fans still felt betrayed. They said Callen was the whole reason Brendan had a podcast career, and they simply dealt with Brendan just to listen to Brian. Brendan got a new set, new co-stars, and never addressed anything. This comment section can't be disregarded. We want Brian back. Brian didn't make an appearance on the show until 6 months after the allegations. When he came back, views shot up. However, it was only temporary. He didn't become a consistent member of the podcast until a full year later. But it gets worse.
It gets
Shaub would get into
worse?
some juicy drama that was picked up by tabloids and YouTube channels outside of the comedy world. A situation that elevated all of this Shaub lore. The subreddit exploded. Shaub got even more famous, and the general YouTube viewer base started to dive deeper into this comedy podcast world. The situation involves Brendan, fellow comedian Bobby Lee, that he claims to be good friends with, and Bobby's wife, Kalila. Brendan, who is a married man with 2 kids, allegedly tried to make sexual passes at Kalila. January 25th, on an episode of the Trash Tuesday podcast, hosted by Kalila Kuhn, Annie Letterman, and Esther Pavitsky, Kalila tells a story about a nameless comic who is unfunny that hit on her years ago. Annie adds that this same person asked her to walk him to his truck, and in her words,
"To what? Suck your dick like..."
And yes, of course, the Reddit turned truck walk into a meme.
Walk me to my truck.
Truck walk. Can't talk, but I'm walking to my truck. Can I get a truck walk? Yeah.
The girls never mentioned his name, but they dropped some hints. Enough hints that the commenters were suspicious. The married comedian that hit on them is undoubtedly Brendan Schaub. Schaub claims he doesn't use social media. However, he heard about this situation. The next month, he allegedly texted Bobby and made a threat to him saying things like, "I'm finally going after anyone who harasses me online. I've spent $500,000 on lawyers." At this point, Schaub was getting a lot of heat for this online and was allegedly threatening Bobby and Kalila privately, saying, "I don't want to have to get nasty with her, but if I have no choice, I can play that game." Bobby and Shaub had made an agreement that Kalila would no longer be talking about him and that he needed to let it go. Following this, on another Trash Tuesday podcast, the girls had mentioned someone was trying to sue them, again alluding to Shaub without saying his name, which fueled more hate directed towards Brendan online. Now we are in late April. Shaub and Callan call Bobby to threaten him, saying that they have information that will end his career, and they accused him of being the mastermind behind all of the Reddit hate over the last 6 years. Bobby felt very threatened by this. He told Kalila what had happened. Kalila asked Bobby for Shaub's phone number, and now we have the first direct communication between Kalila and Shaub. Brendan had told Kalila that he has a team of private investigators looking into a video of child abuse on the subreddit. Apparently, the investigators had found a barrage of comments coming from one IP address that could be tracked back to a computer in Bobby and Kalila's home. These investigators also allegedly had 300 pages of evidence that would prove that either Bobby or Kalila was responsible for the 6 years of hate directed at Shaub and his family on Reddit. This conversation between the two was apparently very heated. They both described it as,
the first time we talked was not really a talk. It was more like 10 minutes of screaming.
Yes.
Shaub was under the impression that they had used his name in the original Trash Tuesday podcast. What's hilarious about this situation is Brendan allegedly hired private investigators and spent $500,000 on lawyers without ever actually watching the original Trash Tuesday clip. Once he finally watched it, he called Kalila to apologize. The second conversation was much more productive after he realized they never said his name. Again, they both agreed to not speak about the situation publicly. There's a lot of he said, she said going on. Apparently, Shaub was slandering her name to Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz, in which he denies. So Kalila decided slandering her name to Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz.
Yo, he looks like a crackhead.
Which he denies. So Kalila decided their agreement to not talk about each other was off.
We promised that this would never be brought up again, but then he went on Flagrant 2 and talked about it, so I was like, all right, deal's off.
Following this, Bobby and Kalila go on the H3H3 podcast to talk about the situation very bluntly, despite Bobby not wanting to. Ethan and Kalila were not very kind to Brendan on this podcast.
Dude, Brendan Schaub can't even read, bro. How the fuck that guy bringing 300 pages of anything?
Following this, they all decide to put the situation to rest and go on the Tiger Belly podcast to discuss.
Getting to a place where we can move forward from it, right?
Yeah, I don't
and the situation does maybe kind of seem like superficial drama, but like I said before, this was like massive news for the past few months. So now Shaub's career is in a weird spot. I didn't even know. He was liked in the beginning, got all the cosigns from the biggest comedians in the world. He basically had a wide open layup. All he had to do was just keep riding the wave. After the rough reception of his first special and he got dragged through the mud, you'd like to think that there would be some improvement. But the general consensus is that his second special, Gringo Papi, was worse, earning him a shocking 1.1 star review. His plan was to produce the special himself through his Thick Boy network and then sell it to a major network. But it seems no networks were interested because you can now watch it in its entirety on the Thick Boy YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He still has his successful show Food Truck Diaries, which was originally produced by Showtime, but is now made by his own Thick Boy network. Brendan will casually interview some of the biggest names in combat sports about their careers, past fights, and their future aspirations. The fight talk is always punctuated with a stop at a food truck to get something to eat, which always looks delicious, by the way, and back into fighting after a quick lunch. He also has his Tiger Thick whiskey brand that seems promising, despite having a terrible name. Today, Shaub has been canceling a lot of his stand-up shows, often canceling them with no real explanation or with a strange explanation.
Now we're rescheduling San Francisco due to the crime wave.
A lot of people online are speculating it's because he's not selling enough tickets, which is
crime
certainly
rates?
not far-fetched considering the reception of his specials. Comedians are speaking out against him.
If I was like his friend, I'd be like, I don't know if that's
Is that
ready.
ready?
You know, like,
Yeah.
that's all. I mean,
I wasn't ready.
Brendan Schaub used to be an MMA fighter, and now he's on Joe Rogan. Yeah, this nigga is awful. He was awful in MMA, and he is awful at stand-up comedy. This nigga is terrible.
The Shaub trolling is at an all-time high. So is this really just an innocent man who was coerced into comedy by his famous best friend and now a victim of bullying? Or is he a full-blown narcissist, doing anything he can to further his own agenda, get next to anyone with power or fame, and once they are no longer useful to him, he moves on? I guess that's for you to decide.
Oh man, okay. I ain't gonna lie, Patrick CC. Oh I'm not subscribed, bro. My fault, cuh. Alrighty. I ain't gonna lie, but that comedy special was trash, bro. That shit was garbage. Okay, I'm done. How much time? Oh my God, an hour? Yeah, nobody's watching this, bro. Literally nobody's watching this. Fuck it, I'ma post it anyways. Alright, enough of me. I'ma leave y'all be. It's your boy Shaub Loui. Gang, gang, gang. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.